What's up, everybody? It's your boy Randall D, TechGeek RLD, back again with another video. And you know my slogan, they gonna learn today, ladies and gentlemen. So, with the release of the RTX 3030 series cards, they released the NVidia broadcast software. Now, this is a piece of software I've been waiting to come out for the longest, because this gives me that green screen effect without needing a green screen. That's kind of crucial. I never went out and bought a green screen. I probably could have bought one, or I probably could have bought like a green cardboard, or you know, did something nice and fancy, custom. You know, I probably could have rigged something up. But with the NVIDIA broadcast software, it uses software to render the green screen effect. Now that's critical, ladies and gentlemen. So we're gonna do a quick. I'm gonna show you how to do a quick installation of it real quick, and I'm gonna try to keep this video short and to the point. It is what it is. First, you just gotta install the drivers. So I'm doing that right now, and as you can see, I opened up the NVIDIA GeForce Experience, and then you go to your software update and do a check for drivers. Now I'm assuming this driver pack released today with the 3080 series cards, because yesterday there was no driver update. Now, as you can see, here's the version number, and as you can see here, these are the objects I'm about to install on my computer. Checkbox, 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 blah blah blah, install. So we're gonna let it do its thing, and after it installs, then we got to go through the setup process of enabling the green screen effect and enabling the noise cancellation on the microphone, because that's another feature too. Oh yeah, side note, this only works on the NVIDIA GeForce 20 series cards and 30 series cards. So that's the NVIDIA 2060, the GeForce RTX 2060, 2070, 2080, 2070 Super. Then you also got your 30 series that just came out. I'm waiting on the 3070, but it works on the the 30 series, 3070, 3080, and the 3090. Whew, that 3090 is expensive. I swear it is. But anyways, so my computer is still installing the drivers. But after it gets done installing, we'll go on to the next step. Alright, so the next thing on the list is we got to install the software. We have to install the NVIDIA broadcast software. So if you click this driver button in the top corner, you'll see the little advertising pamphlet or the icon or the thumbnail for the NVIDIA broadcast software. So we're going to click on that. And it's going to give you a little diagram or information about the software itself. You can kind of read through that if you want to. But within the diagram, there's a link. That's gonna, when you click on that link right there, it's gonna open your default browser and take you to the website or the web page, so you can install and download the NVIDIA broadcast software. So click the download now button, and depending on your internet connection speed, it's gonna depend on how fast it downloads. After you finish downloading, click install. Typical stuff, you know. Been there, done that. So installing, and this part don't take that long. I mean, the software itself is not that huge in file size. So let it do its thing, and when it pops up, this is what it looks like, and then at the end just click finish, blah blah blah. So that's the installation process. Quick, simple, and to the point. Now when it's done, when it's finished installing, this is what the software looks like right here. And as you can see, I went straight to the camera software, or the camera section or whatever. So, and on this section here, it has where you can blur out the background. You can do all the little tweaks you needed to do. Now that was my first impression right there. Wow, like I didn't have a microphone in at the time, but I was very impressed. I can blur out my kind of tedious background living room back there. Stuff was kind of all over the place, but and my son tries to get in focus. But anyways, everything's blurry back there. The point is, everything's blurry. Now you also have different options here. So obviously this is the blurred background option, but if you continue to play around with it, you have other options to choose from. Now this removes the background, you know, similar to the true green screen effect. That removes the background completely. Now you also have the option of adding a photo in the background. So I'm trying to find a decent wallpaper to use as an example. So using this image here, which is a thumbnail to one of my videos, as you can see, it puts it in the background. Same thing as a green screen effect. It's the same thing, but it's done via software, ladies and gentlemen. I was very impressed by that. NVIDIA did a good job on that. Now, like I said, you gotta have an expensive graphics card. You gotta have either 20 series or 30 series GPU for this to even work in the first place. But when it works though, it works pretty damn good. And the camera I'm using is the Razer Kaio webcam. And also in this page here, you can change the settings from 1080p 30 frames per second, 1080p 60 frames per second. And also here, this is also one of the other features. It uses the camera and kind of pans around depending on where you're moving and things of that nature. Again, they did a good job on this NVIDIA broadcast software. I give this software a 10 out of 10, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't want to feel like fiddling with a green screen, this is the way to go. But it does take a toll on your GPU. It does take some of the performance of your GPU, which I'll touch on that later. But for the most part, this software, NVIDIA did a good job on this. Like, look at that. I'm not even controlling it. It's controlling it by itself. I'm just moving left or right. And it's controlling it on its own. And again, that's the blur background effect again. And it's just the feature where it removes the background. So to further test it out, let me grab a hat. So I went and grabbed one of my fitted hats, you know, Atlanta, you know what it is. So I got my fitted hat on, getting ready for game time, getting ready for my session, you know, got to get fresh real quick, you know. So this is the removable of the background. You know, everything's black in the background, even though my lights is on and everything. But this is the software still rendering the green screen effect. And this is with headphones in and with my hat on. So now let's touch on how to enable it using the Streamlabs OBS software. So to get this to work, as you can see, it's still using my previous Razer Kaio setup. But what you got to do is you got to click Add Source. And then you want to go over to the video capture source. So you're going to click on that, which is, you know, the option for webcams, blah, blah, blah. And you want to do Add New Source. And you want to give it a title, you know, something to help you remember it. Remember, you know, give it a good description, good title to the device that you're adding. After that, you're going to click Add Source. And from here, of course, you want to choose the NVIDIA version of your camera. So of course, if you choose your default camera, it's going to be the default setup. But you got to click the NVIDIA version that you created using the NVIDIA software. And that's about it, ladies and gentlemen. As it starts to render, there we go. So of course, once you choose the NVIDIA version of your webcam, you'll go over to the Done button. Of course, you can go over these other extra settings if you want to, but you'll click Done, and then from there you'll go in to the scene and then kind of resize the image or how you want it to look in your video. So, and that's about it. I mean, that's the installation and the setup of the NVIDIA broadcast software. So of course, once you get it set up, you can resize it, move it around, play with it, get, you know, how you want it to look, blah blah blah. But let's take it over and see how it looks in some gameplay footage. Of course, I got my Xbox controller. Let's get it. Game time. So this is Gears of War 5. And you can see it did hit my GPU frames per second. It did hit my performance of my GPU because I'm running this game at 1440p with everything on ultra settings. And with it using some of the GPU's CUDA, I think it's the CUDA cores or the RTX cores, whatever cores it's using, I had to scale back from ultra. And I think I ended up scaling it back to medium. But once you scale back the settings, I was able to keep it at 1440p and still have a 60 frames per second for frame rate. But if I leave it at ultra and use the NVIDIA broadcast software, that was very taxing on my GPU. I probably could have kept the ultra settings and lowered the resolution to 1080p, but since I have a 1440p monitor, I wanted to keep it at 1440p for the resolution. And as you can see, scaling it back to medium settings with the NVIDIA broadcast software on, now my GPU frames per second, my frame rate is hovering at about 60 to 70 frames per second. So that's pretty acceptable for my taste. So it is what it is. It's your boy Randall D. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. They gonna learn today. All right, y'all.